not, y'all. 2023. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for like it or not. We're back let's start this damn show. Yes, it's time for like it or not. We're back let's start this damn show like it or not. Rebecca Azor is in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, or real life-ish. I live in life in the ATL. Benjamin, yeah, that's my man. He's always coming up with the master plan. Politics scheming, or trying to find the meaning of life. And while the feds keeps us in strife. I'm your DJ. I really don't need no introduction right now, but you know what? I stay dropping them jams. Y'all know who I am. Good hope, dad jokes, culture-ish, politics. What you're hearing right now was the culmination of all of this. I started out with the mic in my hand, and I graduated to a plethora of fans. I love bringing joy to the people. It makes me feel great, makes me feel regal. I do what I do for you. 8 p.m. Friday, you know how we do. Let's go. It's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. It's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Like it or not, y'all. 2023. Let's start this damn show. Let's go.
Like it or not starts now.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth.
And not care who doesn't like it.
And this morning, we are joined by the dream team, the triple Bs. Becky, Rebecca, Becca, Bubba, and Ben.
Do you prefer Becky over Becca?
No, if you love me and you mean it, and I don't know you, you won't call me Becky.
I thought so. I was wondering why you said Becky.
Ben, I don't like, but no, my family, it's Becky. My loved ones, it's Becca. That's my man is Babe. So it just is the bees, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're here, and I think I want everybody to call me Rebecca, but I just wanted to start off with something clever and cute with the triple B's. So that's why I said.
I see what you did there.
Okay,
like
so just work with me here.
I like it.
Why y'all gotta stress me out like that?
Give me that Becky.
That is where I say, if you don't know me, chill.
Right.
Because back in college when Plies came out with that. You know what's crazy? I was so young and just
listening to that.
Like, no, not only listening to that. He had dropped just the clip of the song at that point. And so I was like, my name's so popular, they put it in a song. That was what I wrote on my Facebook.
You didn't know any better.
And it came up to haunt me. Okay. And I was like, I'm cringing and embarrassed because next thing you know, everybody was like, oh, give me that Becky. Hey, Becky, your name Becky. That's what it became for me on the highest of 7 hills. And I look at and again, I put that on my Facebook status. My name's so popular, Plies put it in a song. Girl, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Oh.
It comes back to haunt me. I don't even know why I don't delete it. It humbles me every single time.
Every time.
Listen, some things just need to be deleted.
Yeah, I need to just delete it. Facebook, your Facebook statuses from early 2000s, to the mids, they will humble you very quickly. We talked about this on the show already. I was posting the dumbest things Then I would be saved and be like, say the Lord is waiting for your heart. And then the next minute be so like, girl, go sit on somebody's couch.
Right.
Like
Rebecca said Facebook, child, that was College Club for us. College Club and MySpace.
Oh man, no,
MySpace.
GeoCities and
A Black Planet.
Black Planet.
Yeah, I was. Remember, I told you guys, I was close to the era, but not there. You guys are like
Right.
10 plus years older. But on MySpace was where we were able to start. But then we also waited for our college emails so that we can get onto Facebook. So you had to be in college to be on Facebook. So we were still, in the MySpace era. It was us that really propelled MySpace, doing those codes, getting your little drop list, all that stuff. But I said, I know once I get that email, that college email, Rebecca, the grown Rebecca, okay, going to Florida A&M University, she will be on Facebook where nobody else. That's how I know I'm in a different age group, because I'm with the cool kids, the older people on Facebook. Now, 5-year-olds got Facebook pages.
Child, if you only knew TikTok, what's the other one?
They have
Facebook, all
everything. There used to be a line they couldn't cross because it was like, this is for grown folks. Hey, you in grown folks' business. I had to wait to get to the grown folks' door. I was on the waiting list. I was in line at the club for the grown folks club. I was waiting and I finally got in. Now they got everybody in.
Now everybody in here. So I don't want to be here. So my Facebook, since there just happened to be like when Facebook really started becoming popular, like you said, Bucky, you ain't forget that college email. I already had my email. My email was established. So when Facebook came out, boom, I was ready to go. Got my Facebook and everything. So they locked my Facebook because there happened to be another James Williams on campus and they gave us the same email address. So they made me change my email on Facebook. I'm like, why the hell I got to change mine? I was here first.
Yeah.
The hell?
Yeah, no, and then people would because when I started Facebook, my name was the songstress, like Anita Baker, because back in high school they called me that because I really liked Anita Baker, so that was my name. We had a little line, right? And on the back of my sweater, it was the songstress.
Come on, man.
And it was because our high school leaders were like, they went to HBCUs and they were like in the Divine Nine, so it was a whole thing with that. But yeah, but anywho, that was my name on Facebook. They ended up for years that was my name on Facebook. They deleted it and changed my name and told me I was not the songstress and put it as Rebecca's. Or who did that?
Okay. I'm gonna go find some business trying to change my name and stuff.
Did you remember your first name on Facebook when you got on there?
I have I have so many accounts just floating around. I have an old MySpace account floating around. I just abandoned them.
No, your MySpace account isn't floating around anymore because
not anymore.
MySpace was bought by iMeme, which was a Justin Timberlake thing, and Justin Timberlake purchased iMeme, which bought MySpace, which was supposed to make MySpace a fully music space. So they took away all of our pages. We can Google and see little pics, but we can't log in to the page anymore. I wish that they would allow us to tap in to our by verifying who we are and get into our old accounts, because man,
Rebecca, I got a question for you, Becca and Ben, if y'all remember this. Who are y'all top 3 in MySpace?
Okay.
Oh Lord, I have no idea.
I remember
Happy Homes.
Who was yours?
Mine was my ex-husband, Jesus Christ, and Tom.
So I didn't want Tom on my top because I felt like, is Tom real? Like, I just didn't want Tom on my top. And I was in high school. So like I would, when they only allowed you to have the top 5, it went from top like top 5 to like top 10 to top 20 or something like that. But on my top 5 was my brother, my best friend, y'all, and I might have been catfished for as long as I can know, right? And this is my truth. This is my truth. I never told anybody about this. And so you guys are getting an exclusive. Usher's little brother.
Even though we had a little brother being.
Usher's real little brother.
Usher's real little brother. What was his name? It was Jay something. Look, I don't even remember. J-Lack. And he said he was who he was. And I put him in my top 5. And now that I look back, you guys, I could have been catfish the whole time. But we really, me and this person, whoever this person was, developed a great friendship. like,
I was catfished by one of your class people from FAMU, child. That's a story for another day. We had to get into. But yes, I was catfished before catfishing was catfishing, and it went on for years. And when I found out, like years later, I sent a picture, and it was just like nothing. Nothing. What he said.
Catfishing started definitely.
Before the internet.
It was AOL.
Wow, Rebecca, you really were on the internet when you shouldn't have been.
Rebecca,
you had to be 10. You had to be 10.
I was way too young for the internet, but my parents didn't really speak English. It was my dad spoke English, but he thought internet was good for kids, make them smart. My mom didn't know anything, and I was just telling them, get the AOL CD, put it in there, and we're gonna get internet. Mama pick up the landline.
Right
off the internet. The kids these days will never know.
Yeah, would never have any idea
when the TV used to go off because there was no more TV to watch. I don't know that life.
So life in the chat talking about ASL, age, sex, location. You.
Oh wow! That was it.
What's that? Because that was the name of what's that? Because that's the name of Ari Lennox's album.
Yeah. No. That was the acronym when you just typed in ASL, age, sex, and location. See if you're interested.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where she got it from. I was always wondering because Ari named her album that, so that came from somewhere.
Oh yeah, it did. Yep.
Wow. So you guys, I was definitely that's definitely what internet looked like back when I was on the internet. Remember Ask Jeeves? That was Google. Ask Jeeves. Before Ask Jeeves, you really had to hit the encyclopedia.
Yeah.
You had to go to the library, get the encyclopedias, do real research. Now you can type it in. Ben gave me a tip about something, and I, using AI. AI can be very beneficial in so many different ways. Yeah. So, but then it's also tricky with the face stuff and the voice stuff. But this is what internet looked like back in the days. Y'all remember when Wendy's was yellow, right?
Did you say Wendy's?
Wendy's is
was
still
yellow,
ain't it?
No, it's not. You're absolutely right.
Wow.
Oh my
Remember when
gosh.
Taco Bell had the design that was blue and purple, and it was a specific zigzag situation. You remember that?
Listen, when we pivot, it's gonna be wild.
I'm trying to make it light for everybody because it's about to get heavy. So
it is right.
It is. We have a lot of news for you. That and mainly, of course,
horrific.
But we want to lighten it up because it's been for a lot of people that have been covering this like you've been and for a lot of people.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the laughter and the joy this morning because it's been such a hard week. So no, I appreciate the joy.
Yeah. So but yeah, I'm always one to pivot. I'm the pivot queen, but we're not there yet. I wanted to just check in with because we are on a Saturday night. I didn't do a check-in with you guys anyway. So how was your weekend outside of the major news? How are you guys doing? Ben?
I was gonna say, don't ask me because I'm on Twitter right now going to war with people as we laugh over here. It's just my wife has pulled my coattails several times saying, get your face off of Twitter, stop staring at all the disaster that's going on. So if you want to ask how my mental health is doing, that's where I am. My whole world is just like completely absorbed with what's going on. So I don't think I'm doing too well this morning, but I'm doing a lot better than the people of Palestine, all things considered. So I won't complain.
Thank you for your honesty. What about you, Bubba?
I'm doing pretty good. It was a work week, so just work, and more work. That's all I do. That's my life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And then got a DJ tomorrow, of course. But other than that, it's cool, especially like Taylor Swift and Beyonce linked up together in the movie theater. That was cool.
Hey, bro, I love that.
Highlight of my week. That was the highlight of my week.
And can I just say I'm digging that Atlanta Braves jacket you got on right there, man. The jumper. That's I got to get me one of those, man. That's
Yes,
fine.
man. Straight from Walmart, like $10.
Let me go today to get one in. I'm gonna get 2 of them things, man.
Oh, you know what, man? I probably had to get it for you, bro, because they probably won't have it in down there where you at, man.
Yeah, those are,
you know what?
so they're area specific with those in the Walmarts. They're gonna be,
but I got you, brother. I got
location specific. But you know, my week has been how's my week been?
Right, Becca.
It's been.
Can't even remember. Remember.
It's a lot of it's crazy things that, like, I finally was able to get the opportunity to apply to become monetized on YouTube.
Nice.
And
Nice
YouTube
job.
said I was not who I am, and I'm reusing content. It can't be me possibly on the shows that I'm posting. This show right here and Leftist Mafia. They said that I'm reusing, like, that's not me. So they won't monetize me.
That's freaking stupid.
We gonna have to figure a way to work around that.
Yeah. So you both of you guys look on here. Of course, you guys know, and which is great because you guys know better than I do. You've been working in this space, especially on YouTube. And then there is Lance from Leftist Mafia, my other show, and they even were like, yeah, well, let me see, because we can see what's going on there. They just don't believe that you're you, and that's crazy, because I'm like, I just feel like there's some racistness in that, just a little. Because I'm like, you guys made me identify myself. They made me like show them my face.
You had to send an ID or something.
Yeah, they made me do all of that, and then said I need to verify it's me. It's the only Black person on that show.
Right.
Like, and y'all know this, my face is on literally the intro to the show, but you know, it's crazy. It's okay. And and even when I do post my shorts, which are unique, David, they told me those are great. YouTube told me those are great and congratulated me for those things. And still it's not enough. They told me I can't be monetized, which sucks, which really, really does suck, but it's all good. We're here. And I said, at the end of the day, I love that I still have an area where people who want to watch the show can gather, either here or there on and see how I can be anywhere and we can still have these great conversations and open them up to, just a vast majority of people all over the world and in these different spaces who may or may not know about either this show or even the other show. Right. And so we get to have these conversations and flesh them out. I like that I can sit amongst and have a multicultural conversation. And I love that we can get here and have Black perspectives on these major conversations as well. So that, it's all good. They don't want to give a coin up to your girl. That's all right.
We get to the coin a different way then. That's all it is.
We'll figure it out. But as long as we get to have these conversations, I think that's, to me right now, the most important part of it all. Now, speaking of important conversations, I do not want to, I think it would be remiss, because I know a lot of people are afraid to have this conversation. And we're talking about the conversation of the war. Palestine is under attack. Israel and Palestine. We know Hamas, Gaza. These are names and terms that have been thrown around. And then before we start, I actually just want to go in, and if you can give just a short summary for, like I said on Leftist Mafia, for the people in the back who are afraid to have this conversation, don't understand what's happening, and they're just not sure what it's about. So if you could just give a brief summary before we go into what's happening over there, just of what's basically happening, just for the people in the back, for the people who want to know in layman's terms. Could you do that first, please?
I mean, well, okay, so let's begin. Last week we covered it briefly, but last week there was an attack by the militant group Hamas against Israel, particularly in the southern borders of Israel, right where the Gaza Strip is. They broke out, and I'm using that phrase specifically, they broke out of the Gaza Strip, and Hamas began to torture and kill in some really barbaric fashions Israelis. In retaliation for that, in the past 7 days, the government of Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli government, has killed 2,215 Palestinian civilians, including 724 children. I want to repeat that: 724 Palestinian children and 458 Palestinian women have been killed. 70 of them were killed after the government of Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel ordered the Palestinians in the north part of the Gaza Strip to evacuate because they were coming through. They gave them an order to evacuate, and as those 1.1 million Palestinians evacuated, they only had 24 hours to evacuate, y'all. 24 hours to evacuate 1.1 million people. It was already impossible. It was already a death sentence. But as those people started to evacuate, the Israeli Air Force bombed a convoy of civilians and 70 women and children. You could see their bodies splayed on the ground over social media, died as a result of this attack directly on a convoy of people trying to evacuate per the orders of Benjamin Netanyahu. I'm putting this much emphasis on the horrors of the Palestinian people because at this point, the Benjamin Netanyahu regime has allowed its righteous indignation over what the Hamas militants did to turn into genocide. And the fact that the United States of America, President Joe Biden, is not only co-signing it, but proudly, boldly standing with Israel as they commit in real time. Right now, as we speak, they are committing a genocide of the Palestinian people in retaliation for what Hamas did. That's the best I can do without going into a whole lot more hyperbole or
my
anything.
question to you before we get to one of the clips, so when you say Hamas, right, a lot of people are of course associating that with the terrorist group, and
Yes.
and they're saying that because of that, so Hamas was basically needed to be obliterated, and that's what Israel's doing. It's not to take out Palestine itself.
Well, it's hard to make that distinction when Palestine, this particular Gaza Strip, is the most dense, one of the most densely populated areas in the world, where you have 2.2 million people in a 25-mile long strip of land. I mean, that's smaller than Jacksonville, Florida. That's smaller than a lot of cities in the United States or regions in the United States of America. 2.2 million people. Half of those 2.2 million people are children. Right. And so whereas the Benjamin Netanyahu regime in Israel, they have the right to defend themselves against the attacks of Hamas. It's not Hamas that's doing the dying here. It's the children of Palestine. It's the women and children of the Gaza Strip that are doing all of the dying. I haven't seen one Hamas militant dead on the ground, but I've seen hundreds of Palestinian children dead on the ground. Hamas needs to be condemned. In my personal opinion, I would 100% support extrajudicial assassinations of the Hamas leadership and their financiers, those rich financiers who are sitting on yachts. I don't only condemn Hamas, but I feel like I would much rather see the financiers of Hamas paraded around on television than these 724 children. They're going after the wrong people. They're going after children instead of the people who made this happen.
Yeah, and it sucks because the first thing that we're seeing, and for people who don't really, we know, like I said, since I've known you, Ben, we've been covering the issues with Israel and Palestine since we've known each other, and that's where I learned a lot of it, because again, a lot of times people hear this and instantly the support immediately goes to Israel, and I'm not saying that. And let me be clear, especially on this show, nobody should be dying.
That's right.
No one should be dying in Israel or Palestine. No one should be dying right now. This is out of control. It's out of hand. But with that being said, what I do always see is immediate support for Israel. And so my question again, before we get to this, why is it that why do you think people are so afraid to speak up? And when people are speaking up, we're hearing things like the leader of our own nation, President Joe Biden, say that Israel's under attack, and those things. And when we hear that, the American people are going to side with their leader. And so tell me, why is it that they're afraid to talk about what's actually happening in Palestine, or why is it that they don't want to come out and support Palestine?
Well, because there is a conflation, a false equivalence being made between the Hamas militants who committed this act of terror last week and every single Palestinian. In fact, they've extended it. They're not just talking, when they say Hamas, they're not just talking about Palestine anymore. They're talking about all Muslims at this point. And so what has happened is anybody who comes out in support of Palestine, anyone who comes out in support of the Palestinian people, in fact, anyone who comes out and stands against 724 children being killed in Palestine, we're all lumped together and say, oh, you support Hamas terrorists. No, not at all. In fact, I would like to, again, see the leadership of Hamas that is comfortably resting in Egypt right now. Why don't you go get them? The financiers of Hamas, I condemn them so much. Why don't you go get the financiers who are riding in their yachts in the Mediterranean? Go get them instead of the seven. But we live in a world where it doesn't matter if I condemn Hamas. If I stand with the Palestinian people, I will get canceled. So that's why so many people are afraid to speak up.
Yeah, and you mentioned that the cancellation. If anybody knows, commentator and journalist Mark Lamont Hill actually talked about being let go, actually discussing this in a past job before this incident with Israel and Palestine, having the conversation, because again, this has been something that's ongoing between Israel and Palestine, but had a conversation about it, made his statements about Israel and Palestine, and was fired from the job for going outside of standing with Israel or having a full conversation. And so he discussed that. And even on his show, where his platform is, where he is now, I believe on the Griot, he talks about, he actually has a conversation with, I believe, a former foreign minister, and they go into conversations. But just how you're doing, Mark Lamont Hill is going against the grain and not worried about being canceled, but actually fleshing out the conversation and really showing what's actually happening. And I think people are afraid that when we're showing what's actually happening, the people who are actually in power are going to be, it's going to be revealed. And I think Israel, we know people like to throw out, oh, everybody's, if you don't side with Israel, you're being anti-Semitic, right? And that's being thrown around so loosely. And people are easily just saying, hey, you're being anti, how are you? So you're anti-Jew, you, all of that. And it's like, that's not what's being said. Go ahead, Ben.
And that's because people, and this is political propaganda, people want to say that this government of Israel represents all Jewish people. It does not. Right now, Benjamin Netanyahu is 86% of Israeli Jews. That means the people who are literally there in Israel right now, they fault Benjamin Netanyahu for this because he ignored the intelligence. 51% of Israeli Jews want Benjamin Netanyahu to resign. But what happens in the United States of America is that if you say anything against the government of Israel, they say that you're anti-Semitic. No, I'm not. I'm just agreeing with the 51% of Israeli Jews who want Benjamin Netanyahu to resign. We are here where we are because of the far right-wing politics of Benjamin Netanyahu, all the way back from the assassination of Yitzhak Rabin, all the way to today. We are here because of Benjamin Netanyahu, and the Israeli Jews who oppose them. They are wise enough to let it be known that he needs to resign, but you can't say that in the United States of America without being labeled anti-Semitic.
Yep. Right. And for people who don't know, who is Benjamin Netanyahu?
The prime minister of Israel. And he is, the best way to understand him is that he is Israel's Donald Trump. He is also Israel's Vladimir Putin.
Yeah. Wow. And both things can definitely be true. He's very similar in how he's taking control, and how there's this conservative and this right wing, and they have, from how I've been reading in the research, and even from covering him back in the day, there is this dictatorship, and there is this way of control, and how he tries to frame it, you will almost believe that man, like, no, this is Hitler. This is you're trying to control something, and you're trying to play it down when what we're seeing does not match with what you're saying. You're killing people. But let's see. Let's take a look at this clip. And I was just speaking about Mark Lamont Hill, and So let's take a look. He's having a conversation with the former prime minister, and things get real. So let's take a listen.
Humanitarian situation, quote, will only deteriorate exponentially, and that crucial life-saving supplies, including fuel, food, and water, must be allowed into Gaza. So the UN is saying you must do this. You are saying you're not going to do this. How do you?
No, we're not saying that.
He's saying do it. He's saying doing it immediately. What I'm saying is what you're doing.
No.
He's saying doing it immediately.
I got you. I'll tell you exactly what we're saying. I'm saying we will do everything for the Gazan people. Once and now we demand immediate surrender, unconditional surrender of Hamas. If Hamas people come out with their hands up and clear their weapons, believe me, everything will be restored to Gaza. It is Hamas in Hamas hands.
Now I understand. Thank you for clarifying that, sir. I think we're actually on the same page here. You're saying that once Hamas leaves, you'll grant the Gazan people food, shelter, fuel, electricity, hospitals, schooling. And if they don't, and if Hamas doesn't leave, then they'll continue to starve and die in hospitals. You are defining for the international community right now collective punishment. You're saying until Hamas acts differently, the 2 million people in Gaza are going to be treated this way. And once Hamas acts differently, these 2 million people in Gaza will be treated better. That is exactly what collective punishment is. You're holding them accountable for the actions of others. That is the definition, the textbook definition of collective punishment, sir. Now, you may accept that that's what you want to do, but this is absolutely a contravention of international law.
Well, I'll tell you exactly. No, had we pushed them into the wall, we're not pushing them to the wall. We want to open a humanitarian corridor so they can leave. But if Hamas,
so that who can leave? Citizens? You're saying civilians can leave, but only through the Rafah border, correct?
At this point, yes.
So they can't come.
Where else?
Your country. They can come into Israel.
I'm telling you one more thing I want to say.
I want you to address that point. Don't just smile, sir, respectfully. You're saying you're making a corridor. They can go to Egypt. You're bombing them. You say you want to save them, but they can't come in.
What else more is there to say? Is this is just an admission to me. Ben.
Yeah. It's it is a very, I don't have a lot to say other than these are some real ass times that we're living in. To see at this level the justification of the murder of so many civilians in a way that's not going to make Israel any safer. And certainly, I wish somebody advising Joe Biden would let him know that this is absolutely going to weaken the United States of America. I mean, just put aside the immorality of it, because it seems like most people in the West, I hate to use that, but a lot of people in the West don't seem to care about the immorality of this genocide. They are rightfully concerned with the murderous campaign of Vladimir Putin. Correct on that side, America. But you're on the wrong side of this. And I feel like there's a lot of people who make the kind of excuses that we just saw in this clip, the kind of excuses to justify the killing of these people, these women and children. And there's no justifying it. It's morally wrong and repugnant. And it's also going to backfire not only on Israel, but it's going to backfire on the United States of America.
Yes, it will. And we were talking about how even, the former prime minister here of Israel is pretty much, it has a Hitler-ness about him. The smiling, the smiling, the excuses, and trying to tell us what we are hearing and seeing is not what he's saying, and not what we're like. It's really ridiculous trying to convince us that they're not committing genocide. But so there's a clip that you have and can show. Go ahead, Ben.
Well, I want to introduce this clip because when you mentioned Hitler earlier, one thing I know for certain is that someone is going to clip that clip and say, oh my God, she's comparing Benjamin Netanyahu to Hitler. Well, here's the thing. Benjamin Netanyahu compared himself to Hitler in this next clip when he makes an excuse for the murder of Jewish people. This is the prime minister of Israel excusing Hitler, blaming not Hitler, but instead blaming the Jews. And I want people to hear this sociopathy because it is exactly the type of evil that allows him to kill 724 Palestinian children in just under 7 days. Run that clip real quick.
At the time, he wanted to expel the Jews. And Hitler didn't want to exterminate the Jews at the time.
I really just want people to see that no, you're not off at all, right? To have that to be able to excuse Hitler, right?
Give an
That
excuse,
shows you
yeah.
that shows you that there is a distinct difference between the government of Israel, the right-wing government of Benjamin Netanyahu, and the Jewish people around the world who not only have a right to exist, but they do have a right to defend themselves, but not in the fashion that this right-wing government of this evil government of Benjamin Netanyahu is doing.
Just the statement of, oh, he didn't want to exterminate the Jews. He wanted to just expel them.
Right.
And here's the thing, because of the religious belief or however that they want to say it, for people who just don't think like you, do you think because that's, to me, as I look and I try to figure out what the issues may be, and they try to blame it on the terrorist group, and it's so easy to blame Middle Eastern closer, for that. So people automatically believe Palestine and if we throw around, and not to say that Hamas isn't that group, but they make Palestinians, and particularly in the news right now, just people that are in connection with Hamas or whatever the case may be. And that's how people are going to just say those people aren't good people. And then on top of that, because they aren't Jews, so because they serve somebody else or they believe in something else, that's where the issue lies. And that, to me, is like, so that should be the cause of genocide because the people are different. And when you look at a lot of them whose homes already they have the least access in this area of Gaza. They have the least access. Israel has everything, right? And which outside of that area, Israel has everything. And in Palestine, they don't have much. They're already
90% of them don't have clean water, Rebecca, just to back up what
and
you're
how
saying.
many people are there? It's like a small group of people compared to the rest, and they have
2.2
nothing.
million.
They have
2.2 million.
Can I interrupt real
2.2
quick?
million, and they have to literally live. There's an echo, but they have to.
Rebecca, can you hear me, Rebecca?
Yes.
I just wanted to point one thing out just because I couldn't find this, and it's only playing randomly. What you're seeing on the screen right now is some kind of, I don't know, I can't find the source because I'd have to click on it, but it's an advertisement about Israel using the attack by Hamas to, I guess, gain favor, probably fundraise.
And that's
just wanted to point it out.
Yeah. Okay. And so that is my so everybody who literally is watching this and who knows nothing about what's going on. And I'm talking about like watching news and see how there may be ads that just point to Hamas. And that's going to be how people understand Palestine. They're going to say, well, that terrorist group of people must be shot down. We must clear them out. And Israel needs to be safe, even though they have more. They got armies set up. They got all these things. Palestinian people, what do they have to defend themselves? Okay.
Rocks. Listen, the financiers of Hamas managed to get them some decent, something more than rocks last week. They did not use rocks last week when they attacked Israel. And I want to make sure I make that distinction. But 9 times out of 10, when you see a Palestinian individual, child, woman, or otherwise, they are fighting with rocks against people with tanks, with jets, and nuclear weapons. And in fact, right now, the United States is considering moving funding from Ukraine and sending it to Israel, right? So they're going to take weapons that they use to fight against Russia, right? And give it to Israel to fight against people with rocks.
But Ben, I thought about this too. And see, I'm trying to flesh this out because again, a lot of people are afraid to speak about this, and a lot of people are afraid to really find out information. But as I sit here and again, I say it's a religious thing. It's a thing because a small group of people aren't the same as another group of people who are very powerful.
Come on.
And this small group of people, just because of what they believe in, this very powerful group of people who's killing, even their own are dying.
That's
No
right.
one should be dying. No one. But I look at this and I think about Ukraine, I think about Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And I think how the US ran in support for that small country, Ukraine, who, just got their freedom for real.
Mm-hmm. Was it
And
91 somewhere?
Russia
Yeah.
wants to like literally take all those people out and get that land back. They don't want to. They want Ukraine back. And so I say that to say, like, America went in full support for Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at what we're seeing now, and America refuses to see what's happening in Israel and Palestine, and to say it's similar. They refuse to do it because it's anti-Semitic, right?
Come on, you preach it.
It's
Let me just say this: it's like in Ukraine, the United States understood this is David and Goliath, and they picked the right side. They picked the wrong side on this one. They consistently are picking the wrong side on this because it is totally possible that an oppressed people like the Jewish people who went through what they went through, and no one should ever forget what they went through. It is entirely possible that now the right-wing government that tries to represent them but doesn't is committing acts of terror and oppression. If they don't realize when they have switched from being David to being Goliath, we should be able to realize it and not support them as the American government.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And talking about the hypocrisy, your old friend Michael Brooks, the late Michael Brooks, actually discussed the hypocrisy in an old clip, and I would love to play it. Let's take a listen.
So it's not a complex issue. That's the big thing. It's super simple. There's one group that has enormous power. It's the most powerful country in the Middle East. It's backed by the United States. It acts on another population of people with total impunity and is never held accountable for anything. So there's no symmetry in the relationship, period. And just as like a thought experiment, IDW people, if we know that if somehow a population of Jewish refugees ended up in West Bank and Gaza, and an Arabic government in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv had an open air prison in Jewish Gaza, which they bombed with white phosphorus. They killed civilians indiscriminately, and they had no provisions for medicine. They had an embargo that blocked food, that electricity wasn't running, that there was an over 48% unemployment rate. Life expectancy and malnutrition statistics were horrifying. One of the major policymakers in this hypothetical Arabic Palestinian state said, we need to put those Jews on a diet. In the West Bank, there was another Jewish area where there was a little bit more autonomy, but there was regular Arabic settlements where they pulled up the Jewish farmers' foods. They terrorized them with rocks. The security forces broke children's bones, and they couldn't drive their own roads. We'd all have no problem understanding what that was. So there's nothing complex about it.
And there's nothing complex
Right
about
there.
it. Rest in peace to Michael Brooks, and it's worth stating to anyone who does not know Michael Brooks that he was Jewish. I mean, he's gone, he's no longer with us, but he made it so clear. And some of the clearest voices on this issue happen to be Jewish people who reject the Zionism and the right-wing extremism of Benjamin Netanyahu. And so it's just wild to me that as Americans funding this attack on Gaza, we can't reject it without being called anti-Semitic, yet and still the best critics of what's happening are coming from Jewish people.
On Leftist Mafia, Matt Bender, you guys have know of Majority Report, who I work with on Leftist Mafia. He comes from a Jewish background, and he talks about how people are expecting him to be on one side of it, and he's like, how? No, like, I don't have to be. I can talk about the issue at hand. I can say what's going on and not be anti-Semitic. is going up against Goliath at this point, and they don't know what to do, and they're trying. So it's a lot that people are afraid to have the discussion, and I didn't think about that until, like I said, since the first day that we broke the news, I was watching and I said, there's a war happening. And I remember with Russia and Ukraine, they made sure we knew what was going on. And here we're watching bodies be slaughtered, bodies be paraded around.
Yeah.
Paraded around.
Children.
With children. We're live videos, and this is against our will because it is on the internet.
Yeah.
It's on the internet. And we're seeing this trauma, but the outrage isn't as loud. And the quiet part scares me because we might wake up and those Palestinians could literally be gone. Every single one of them. And the world will move on because our national leader said that they're going to help support Israel. And that is scary. Kalani, the singer, put out a statement and said it's sad because a lot of the singers that she works with and the artists that she works with and other professionals that she works with in the music industry are not saying a thing.
Yeah.
She's posted about it. And she talked about how she was told to take everything down, to be quiet about this. This can end her career. She can be canceled because the people who own the industry are Jewish. To be careful with her statements. I think she deleted a post and she said, I didn't delete that because I was afraid or something like that. She said, it's still free Palestine. And she's one of the few people that I've seen really speak about it in that space because people are afraid.
Yeah.
Bubba, you're on mute. Bubba, you're on mute.
One of the thank y'all. One of the Kardashians that posted something. I can't remember what it was, and I know, like immediately after everything started going on, then next thing, all of a sudden they took the post down. But there was so much outrage about what she posted, and I can't even remember what she posted as well too. But it's one of those things where people don't know the information. Of course, they're just going to go by what what media shows them, and by listening to Ben, Rebecca, and you and everything, it's just like, okay, I know more than what I did already because everything they're saying in the media is not this.
Yeah, and they're not showing these pictures and these images.
They're not showing it like, at all.
Like, how do you expect 1.1 if you're looking at the screen and you see the destruction? How could the Benjamin Netanyahu regime expect 1.1 million people to escape when the roads have been completely covered? Because 6,000 bombs, as of yesterday, I don't know how many they are today, but 6,000 bombs were dropped by the Israeli Air Force in this area, and they expect people to be able to get on the road and evacuate in less than 24 hours. It is extremely terrifying and scary.
Mm-hmm. And they want you to see, they want us to see it in this one way. It's so funny how media works and how powerful people can really misinform and manipulate so that people can believe that this small group of people, even though there's Hamas, they want to say that Palestinians are that. Right. And that is where the issue lies, because that's, we have a terrorist group of people that we saw hit the steps of the Capitol. Remember? Okay. Remember?
You trying to get canceled for real, like they did. Okay. What's that sister from The View who said the same thing yesterday? Go on, preach, Rebecca.
Okay, so listen, my amen corner. Listen, let me tell you, like people here, those same group of, we had a group of people who are a part of our leadership, our national, they represent the United States of America. And we call them Republicans, right? Some people might call them conservatives. And they led a domestic terrorist attack at the Capitol on January 6th. And so are we saying that all the people in the Republican Party who represent Republicans are exactly that?
No, yes, no, stop, Rebecca. You're exposing my hypocrisy.
So what I'm saying is, so are all Americans that? You see what I'm saying? Oh, so, I'd like to say, I want to bring that to the table whenever that they're sitting here and trying to just say Hamas is Palestinians, because that's not the case.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
not the case.
Yeah.
And so, and we have a lot more to discuss, but it's just, it reminds me, and we'll talk about this. I want to talk about, last week, and I actually want to talk about it today, but it reminds me of how the Dominicans want to make and misinform and manipulate what's happening at our borders with Haiti and with the Dominican Republic right now, and how they're killing Haitians all day and every day on the border, mistreating them, making us feel and look a certain kind of way. And because they have power and connection with the United States, it's easy for them to make us look like we're less than and all of that. But that will be a conversation that we'll have with so much in U.S. involvement as well on next week. But look, let me tell you something. It ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. But here's what I love about it. The United States doesn't get to make that call for us anymore, especially because we have these platforms. And while people want to say, just because you speak against Jewish people or Israel, we're not doing that. We're speaking against evil. We're speaking against unjust. We're speaking against the possible genocide of a group of people because of what they believe in. And that's it.
And some of the most powerful voices right now are Jewish people who are calling this out. And so, no, when we speak and when I criticize Benjamin Netanyahu, I'm criticizing him as an individual, just like I criticize Vladimir Putin. I can't tell the difference between the two of them. When I criticize Israel, I'm criticizing it as a government, just like I criticize the American government. That does not mean I'm criticizing Jewish people. I do not criticize Jewish people. They have as much right to exist as anyone else. But the right-wing government of Benjamin Netanyahu does not have the right to commit genocide on our taxpayer dollar and our taxpayer dime and time, and we not reject it. I'm morally required to reject what Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel is doing to Palestine.
And that's that on that. Nobody can tell us another thing. We're going to stand with the right of people. Okay? The right of people. And people should not be dying.
Amen.
So we're going to take a break because like we can take this every which way. Okay?
Fact.
We can take this every which way and never turn it loose because we won't do it. All right. This is a conversation that will be had and people want us to stay quiet about it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're going to take a break really quickly. We'll be right back after this.
What'd you say, Rebecca?
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. I'm not saying the Rebecca change.
What'd you say about J. Cole?
Right.
It's crazy because I'm listening and I'm like, okay, I heard Dirk. Well, this is Dirk's song, right?
Yeah.
So I heard Dirk and I'm like, okay, I didn't hear so much like of the,
N-word.
Yeah.
I mean, I could
ninjas.
Of the N-word. But then J. Cole comes on and it's like, okay, I heard, you guys, I guess it's not the quick. Oh, how many times they gonna say it? 17 times? I said the mixed ones always say it all.
Girl, you're stupid.
And it's like, I'm like, we get it, Drake.
The whole Drake album.
Hey.
I be like, I think, oh my God, I'm about to say, is it, I think, oh Lord, I done started, I might as well finish it. If you like half black, you could only say the N word 50% of the time. You can't be saying it that much time.
Not
50%. And this ain't my words, but they call them Africans. And I said, that came off of the
Africans?
No.
I got that from the internet back
Listen,
in the whole time.
If you out here saying the N word like that, I might have to.
And I
come
think
on, man.
You can't call them people like that. You can't.
You can't be,
now, my thing is, why do you got to say it so much though? It's like, okay, Drake.
Go, man.
You don't have
like,
to.
am I supposed to be only?
Black.
Am I only supposed to be half mad with Drake when he says the N word? I'm just 100% mad. Anyway, go ahead. Let's
half what Chris Rock said. Selective outrage.
Yeah. This true. Tia Mowry, I love you so much. Her too. I'm like, girl, we know you black. Sometimes you don't gotta give. Like I love you guys are all black to me. I don't know. They're all black to me. We're all black together. But I feel like what's the football player?
Kaepernick?
Yes, Colin
Kaepernick.
Oh
Lord.
When they start getting braids and stuff, all of a sudden dreads and all. It's just like, hey.
Oh my goodness.
I hate you.
What I know, like, hey, I know you're black. We all know you're black.
Just slow down on the N-word.
And Russell Wilson went to go get the braids. Hey, baby.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, baby, we know. I know you dating Sierra, and I know you used to like them. What's his name called? Like the snowbird.
Mary, girl, Mary.
Hey, it gets crazy. That's all I'm saying. It gets crazy.
We might be the most cancelable show on radio.
And I love
hell no.
I love everyone that I named, but it's just interesting to see. Like sometimes you have to really fight for your blackness, I guess.
Well, I used to like Drake, man. I used to really stand Drake.
Now
but
Drake does his latest album.
Yeah.
His latest album, Benjamin
his latest album,
Garbage for me.
You didn't like, bro. Honestly, I like it better than a lot of his last couple of albums. Because see, I wasn't a fan.
Last couple of albums in it, and I wouldn't say it's garbage. I would say
I freaking love it, man.
I would say that there are a couple of songs on there. You know, listen, I'm in the phase where you know how we say I miss the old Kanye. That's what I was saying on Leftist Mafia. I miss the old Drake, but we're not ever getting him back. He made his money. Now he's chilling and he's doing whatever he wants. His 75% white child. He.
Are you over here doing? I ain't never seen Rebecca run numbers that quick.
Right, man.
And that little boy is gonna be as black as they come.
Yeah.
Just like Archie, Princess Diana's son, grandson. Just like Archie, you're gonna be the blackest baby we've ever seen in life. But red hair, white, 75%, but black.
Oh man,
I love the album though. It's cute. Like it took me a minute to listen to it, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I can get into this Drake because beforehand I didn't like the last one. Now I did like his little house album that he put out. That one was cool.
I remember that.
Yeah, that one was cool. But the other than after that, I'm just like, eh. And then this one came out. I'm like, okay, cool. But also, don't forget December 1st, Beyonce Renaissance
look, the feds
World Tour. I know you see that. Y'all see how they do me on Beyonce Good Internet. They make me fade to the rainbow.
So much great music has been coming out. I will say that and I heard and shouts out to Mike. I didn't even know Mike listened to K Michelle. You got to be like a real wow. I look really cute today. I'm not gonna lie. Like this, I'll allow it. I will allow it, David. But K Michelle's new album. If you are like I can't say a hood, but you get gritty with it. But you like a little country and a little yodel in it. Know, a little scream. K Michelle just dropped a new album, and she talks about so many things. Like,
wait, you say she balanced yodeling and hood?
Mm-hmm. She has a song, guys.
I'd like to see
she has a song 2 albums ago where she says, I wish I was Kim Kardashian so I can be black.
Oh, I remember that.
Put my face on Tupac and put braids to the back.
Oh my.
So I can be black because that's how you get accepted. She said that. And I feel like that was one of the greatest lines ever. If you think that you're Kim K, like that, especially at that time, Kim Kardashian was what people were saying basically was like the blackest thing on the internet.
Right.
Remember when they tried it? Was it her? Was it Kim Kardashian? They tried to credit with the box braids or what was it?
No, it was the yes. They said that her sister. What's her sister? The little one, Chloe. Not Chloe.
What
Kylie.
Kylie
with the braids. Kylie was on the braid, and she put her face on Tupac. Guys, I'm not making this up. Put her face on Tupac and sold those shirts.
Yeah. I'm messy.
I'm not here for that. You see, with all this craziness happening
around the world,
all this craziness happening around the world, and these people out here playing with folks. Now, before we get to the end of the show, I have to make sure that we talk about at least some justice, right? That's being served in some way, shape, or form here in America. And that is, give me one moment here.
While you're pulling that up, don't forget Renaissance in theaters in December. Sorry, because my camera just kind of froze on me and shut me down. I felt offensive. I was offended.
I'm in shock
on Beyonce internet like that. Like, goddamn, I'm going.
You can't interrupt the church announcements, man. Go ahead and say it again so everybody can hear you in the back.
Okay, for real. Beyonce Renaissance is coming to the movie theaters December 1st. I'm going December 1st, 2nd, 3rd. 8th, 9th, and 10th. So you can catch us in the movie theaters while we go see the world tour again for like the 5th or 6th time. Not
And on
like
the-
I've seen the show like several times already, but
And,
I'm going
and
to
on
see
the
it again.
12th day of Christmas, James DJ Exclusive went to see Bubba. Went to go see Renaissance again.
With my cowboy hat
I'm,
on.
I'm probably
silver hair.
that's the only way I'm gonna go see Renaissance
minute.
in the.
Wait a minute,
in
James. I ain't, as long as I known you. I mean, I know you the LGBTQ. I ain't never seen you in no cowboy hat, man. All these years. What you talking about?
So
bro?
there is a video just from a few, like maybe a month ago, where I had a rainbow cowboy hat on at somebody's party, and it was like the 360 camera. I was rocking that hat. I'm gonna send y'all the video later.
Okay, all right.
So I know David is saying we don't have enough time because we're gonna have the after show. But before we get out of here, speaking of reclaiming our time, thank you so much for reclaiming your time, Bubba.
Thank you.
Elijah
appreciate you,
McClain,
Rebecca.
we got some kind of justice. So we're
Oh,
reclaiming
man.
some
Yeah.
kind of time here. So before we get out of here, we don't have to play the video, but a jury in Adams County, Colorado found former police officer Randy Rodema guilty of criminally negligent homicide and assault in the 3rd degree in the
Wow.
death of 23-year-old Elijah McClain. And another officer, Jason Rosenblatt, was found not guilty of charges of reckless manslaughter, assault in the 2nd degree, and criminally negligent homicide. Rodema and Rosenblatt were the first officers tried in the connection of McClain's death. We have one officer, yes, that has been charged and convicted in connection with Elijah McClain's death. The mother did speak out and she about what was going on, and she said America needs to start telling the truth about its history and changing the way it treats all the people that pay into its systems of control. Okay, she went on to say, don't say sorry to me for humans that fail even their own kind. My soul still cries out for divine justice for my son Elijah McClain. So we know that we're still looking for more justice, but having one officer at least convicted tells us that something is going right, at least in the right direction, because what we saw on video about Elijah McClain was super sad. It was traumatizing to us.
Yeah.
And we know that our Black men, our Black boys, Black people don't get much justice, especially in these conversations when their lives are lost at the hands of police officers, law enforcement. So, okay. I know we don't have enough time. You guys, we're going to follow up on this story with Elijah McClain, of course, throughout the week. Next Saturday, we'll have an update for you. But if you know what's good for you, you'll stay right here. It's not over yet. We're headed to the after show, and we got some more great news. And I think we're going to lighten it up a little bit. You don't want to miss it. Yeah. So stay
As best as we can.
We're right, the best we can. So stay tuned for more Like You're Not after this.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much again for tuning in on this beautiful Saturday. Hey, make sure you go enjoy your day and do something well and fun for yourself. And if you haven't already, patreon.com / like it or not, patreon.com / like it or not, where you become a member of our Patreon and join our little family over here. Y'all come on over. You won't want to miss it. Also, if you're listening to the radio right now, you can go to youtube.com / the Benjamin Dixon Show, youtube.com / the Benjamin Dixon Show. Catch all the replays of the show and make sure that you follow all of us on Instagram, social media. You will see us there, man. We'll see you next week. Power 104.7, the Benjamin Dixon Show. Like it or not, with Rebecca Azor. Deuces.
Where the rhythm meets power. Power 104.7, where old school meets new school.
I'm mad. David and brought us back early. All I hear is Rebecca ass laughing. So I'm like, wait a minute, damn, David.
Because I was cracking up, I'm like, oh, she sounded great in the beginning, and then she came back to I said, now why would they? Because Comfortable is my song from when I was a little girl in college,
Right.
my undergrad, and I'm like, I never heard this version, so I'm like, okay, but we got to the end, I said, now you can keep it, Bubba, because this ain't it. She was now.
Oh man,
This is back in the day, so
I'm
it
good.
probably
Never
wasn't
mind.
mixed correctly. So that's all I gotta say. This is back in the day, so we'll just say it made me happy.
you know what's wild is that this show is equally as effective as a music critic show as it is a political show, man. It's crazy.
It's true. It's facts. So
Because I'm like, Anna Baby, I ain't never heard of her before. I'm just
I
like,
was like, because I like the beginning
Okay.
sounded great. I like the way she came in. It was a nice little vibe. But baby, when we got to him, I said, "Now, did she not hear it? Is she not catching it? Because baby, you're not on beat. You're not on. Are you not getting the sound? You're pitchy.
She's a little pitchy.
Okay, like it was the melody. Are we on the harmony? Are we on
turn
the
me up? Turn me up in the mic.
Turn me up in the microphone. I'm about to go in.
She can hear herself.
I said, oh my God,
That's just right.
She can go out.
Sexy Red talking about y'all get up for Sexy Red. Woo! Y'all make some noise.
She screamed for herself because people was like,
wait a minute. Would this actually happen?
This happened.
I gotta see that.
She was like, damn, y'all clap, do something.
Okay.
Like,
y'all make some noise. What the F?
Where is that video? Somebody in the chat room, please get us that video.
I got you, Ben. I already got somebody that gonna send it right to me.
Oh, merciful. Oh, Lord. And I don't want to be a hater on Sexy Red, but I would be so glad when her 10-year has come and gone.
Okay, Benjamin P. Dixon. Okay, look, you talking about that crew gonna cancel over here for that statement.
Well, I'm old, so I'm covered. They're gonna cancel us anyway because I'm over 40, so I might as well go and just lean into it.
But anywho, find the video because that was viral. About that's a three. She had so much more drama beyond that. Since that incident. We discussed how last week, see now I'm getting serious again. I'm trying to go light with it, but we discussed how last week she opened her mouth to endorse Donald Trump. Now, a lot of these celebrities for the last have been opening their mouth. I don't think that they know that they can keep things to themselves. You are not at the Quincy Jones age or the Clive, David's age?
Clive Davis.
Where you can start literally saying people's business. You're not Patti LaBelle where you can get on stage and mess up Tina Turner's lyrics and be okay and live another day. You are not there yet. So you can hold on to a couple of things. Patti just came out and was like, Luther was gay the whole time. He was dating folks. I used to be there with Luther and whoever he was dating. Like, Luther was gay. He was living a gay life.
Patty just did that. Oh my God.
Patty did that like Patty's at the place where she can do that. You see what I'm saying? And those but
that was Quincy Jones too. Y'all remember when Quincy came out and just spilled all the tea?
Yeah, everybody was sleeping with everybody. My God, especially with what's my dude name? Who played Mark Anthony on? What's the white dude name who everybody loved back in that day? Somebody in the chat room would say it, but
Ricky
they said
Martin?
that man, that dude was sleeping with everybody. Men, women.
Dang, who was
non-conforming? That got that Charlie.
What is my man? He played Mark Anthony on Julius Caesar. It's the only thing I could his name is escaping me, but it's
Charlton Heston.
It's the guy that Quincy Jones called out by name.
I can't remember.
Let me go on my chat.
Right, y'all know who it is.
Let me do it. Hang on. Who played? Let me just
somebody said Rock Hudson, Richard Burton.
Mark Anthony.
I think it's Rock Hudson.
Julius Caesar. What was my man's name? It is gonna bother me. Marlon Brando. He said Marlon Brando was out there screwing everybody.
Yeah. So like everybody's just out here saying things that's ridiculous. I feel like this is not the time. You gotta start
keeping some of this on the low, on the hush, right?
There's a gif of Ian Levan saying I need you to just be quiet because Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh Lord.
that
was a top shelf transition.
God,
Jada Pinkett Smith is sitting on any couch that will allow her to warm it. Okay, her to warm it up and just spill tea that nobody asked for.
None.
And starting with the fact that Hoda from no longer Kathy Lee and Hoda, but Hoda from Good Morning America, like ABC. Okay, let's just say that. Hoda had interviewed her. And I think she said to her, you're somebody who likes to keep it real. And Jada, I am. But you really don't. You're really not that person. You really don't keep it real.
Ooh.
Jada said. And she said, so you stated that you and Will have been separate for how long? She said like 6 years or something of the sort.
Yeah.
And David, what we got for a clip? Because I'm gonna go in, and I just need y'all to
Make sure we got the right clip ready.
David, what we got for the clip? Did we get that clip? What clip do we got? Because it's just so many levels of this. Because I thought that interview was gonna be it. She said on every couch,
called her out like that,
hour after hour, minute after minute. David, just let's take a look at what you got. Let's take a look because we got a lot coming up.
I roll not so much for me. And I think this is really important, but the fact that there could be a jab at alopecia.
Will then went on a profane tirade warning Chris not to mention his wife's name. Jada couldn't believe what she was hearing.
What is going on? Now, first of all, I'm really shocked because, mind you, I'm not there. We haven't called each other husband and wife in a long time. I'm like, what is going on right now?
My wife's name
out of your mouth, right? And I'm like, but now I'm really worried for Will because I don't know what's going on.
What viewers did not see at the time, while Oscar clips were being shown, was Chris Rock leaning over the stage to talk to Jada.
And Chris looks to me and he says, Jada, I meant no harm. Now, I'm just out of it because I'm really worried about
and
Will.
what's Will doing? He's just sitting there?
And Will's still talking. He's like, he's still, because now he's mad because Chris is talking to me. And I go, Chris, this is about some old shit. That's all I could think to say, right? And I couldn't really take in his apology.
How unusual for Will, a guy who, I mean, on that kind of stage to do something so insane.
Absolutely.
It's
so
totally
hence why
I'm not him whatsoever.
Okay, guys.
That's why it took so long, Chris, to say something.
Listen to me and listen to me good. Listen to me clearly. Jada Pinkett Smith is dropping a book. Yes. Let's put that out there. And every couch that she's sitting on, every interview that she's doing, she's dropping so much that we don't even need to read the book. Again, Jada Pinkett Smith, take us out of that group chat. I am tired. I'm tired. We sat there and said, that man walked up there and said, he looked at you when the alopecia joke was being made and he was kikiing just a tad smidge. And you was looking like, Will. Will.
She didn't like it.
Got up there, smacked that man on stage.
On behalf of her.
And said, keep your name, no, keep my wife's name out. He did all of that. And now you want to come out. You did Jada Pinkett Smith did a red table talk about the situation and said her husband had her back. And her husband understood her fight with alopecia.
Oh, wait a minute. She did that, and then now she's coming back to sell this book. My God.
Yes.
My God.
I remember all of that shit. She's just sitting there around the table, just like, okay.
And now she's saying, when he said wife, I was like, what is he doing?
What wife?
I have not been called a wife in so long.
We have an open relationship. What are you talking about?
She said we've been separated, and now because Hoda said basically to her, so you've been living a lie. We've been seeing you guys on red carpets. You guys have been, and when you look at it, and this is my opinion, okay? This is my opinion. This is not the opinion of anybody else's here. I don't know what their opinions are. And this is mine, Rebecca Azores and Rebecca Azores only. She took so much of Will Smith's life. He chose her, had these kids with her, did things that she wanted to do. She was able to have these fluid conversations, be who she wanted, be as free as she wanted. Will Smith just wanted her and did everything the way that she wanted. He was embarrassed time, y'all, and time again. We knew about her, y'all. I'm gonna put a pause right here. She had another interview where she said, I was never in a romantic relationship with Tupac. Only to go on and say, y'all, Tupac asked me to marry him while he was locked up.
I got it, y'all.
What you got?
Rebecca, you finished? Because I got it. Are you finished, Rebecca? I want you to finish first, Rebecca.
I just feel bad for Will. Go.
Okay, what it was the situationship. I'm gonna marry you. You gonna marry me. You do whatever the hell you want to do.
She said that.
What it is, Will gay. If y'all ever seen 6 Degrees of Separation, and it's so funny. It's a thread going around on Instagram now where they talking about these straight men show played these gay roles really good. 6 Degrees of Separation, Brokeback Mountain. It was a few movies that was listed. I'm like, damn.
You put 2 and 2 together or whatever.
Put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, God damn, that makes a lot of sense. Stop playing.
I hear you. I think he's gay. Shows who he wanted, and I think this person actually just wanted to live such a, you ever hear about people getting with somebody and you just want that person, you want nobody else.
Yeah.
So you're willing to do whatever it is to keep that person and everything. I feel like for her to speak on his, like, this man was at an award show with you. He was laughing at a joke when he looked over at you and you were sad and you felt like you didn't have anybody to protect you. He did what he thought was the best thing he can do. And now a year later, you are now saying that, oh, you made peace. You made peace with him while half of the world, we were torn.
Yeah.
We were torn. Like, Will was wrong. And everybody was like, Chris Rock was wrong. Now, what do we do with that? And you sat there and you made peace. You had a red table talk, sis. You then had let the world know that you didn't have an affair, but you had an entanglement. and the thing is, you had a red table talk about that.
Yeah.
And you sat there, had the conversation and said, but me and Will then worked on each other. You said that to us. We didn't ask for it.
Okay. Y'all,
Schrodinger's relationship.
I think, what's the chick name from Alabama? I think the chick from Alabama disappointed us more than this. Honestly, I'm going to keep it real.
The one
the one that faked the kidnapping. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Carly. Jada, we knew that you were, but to see though that for the past few years, he has been he being Will Smith has, man, at the dragging. I don't think it's ever gonna stop. She's gonna skin him clean.
I don't know, man. I don't know what led their relationship to be like this. I can have some idea. You really just think about like relationships in the Hollywood period, right? Like relationships in pop culture period, relationships like that in America period. I mean, it's not designed at all for monogamy, and it's not designed for like commitment. They're arrangements, and she's cashing in on this side, which for this book, which makes me ask the question, like, do they need the money? Like, why? Like, does she need the money? Like, why? I get promoting your book and wanting to have a bestseller, but enough to sell out whatever your entanglement with Will Smith is, you need to air that out to make some coin. That's a little weird to me.
And maybe, go ahead, Becca.
No, you go ahead, bro.
Oh, I was about to say, and maybe the whole slap thing was just a publicity stunt too. Here you are a year later, now you can use that to go all into this.
He was willing to take the fall.
Exactly.
James Bubba Williams, he was willing to take the fall. In the incident of her sleeping with a young man, August Alsina, Will Smith was willing to be literally looked at as the dumbass, and excuse my language, in it. No, seriously, it's really sad. For a man that we know who is so talented. There are songs that they allowed to go on. Jada loved when people would say, I want that Will and Jada love. Remember? Now when that lyric don't hit as hard as y'all thought it did. Okay. So in this clip, let's take a listen about in this clip where she continues and to say things in the book. We don't even need to go buy it, y'all. She's giving us just all the spoilers. She gonna drop a movie next. Let's take a listen.
I think that there's times where he's referred to as his soulmate, and I would assume that you felt the same way. Do you feel that you can have a friendship that is like a soulmate friendship that doesn't necessarily include the romantic, version?
Absolutely. We have soulmates. Our children can be our soulmates. I think this kind of romanticized idea of like a soulmate, there's all kinds of definitions of soulmate.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I don't think if there is such a thing as past lives, I definitely think Pac and I have traveled a few together, in various forms. So
did you ever, has there ever been a time that you regretted the decision that you made not to take it to that level with him and to keep it in the friendship space?
It just wasn't possible. There was no chemistry between us. I I talk about it in the book.
That's so hard. I know, but that's just so hard to imagine. Because at the time, he was in he was in a space where, he was in jail and all that. But it's just hard to believe that we see chemistry with the two of you guys. Even in the videos you guys dance, and there seems to be so much chemistry. But
chemistry, it's that friendship, love chemistry. Trust me. Let me tell you, don't think that Pac and I, like I write in the book, we had those moments. And I wish I could get people to understand the repelling nature. It was almost like God made us that way. It was like, look, I'm gonna put y'all together. All right. Y'all gonna be a dynamic duo. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna make it so. Y'all not gonna be able to get together because that just wasn't the purpose. And I know it's so hard, but we had and it wasn't just me.
We can stop right there.
Him
too. You know what's crazy is that to be and Will had for her birthday did this whole post about loving her and her being by his side. So many interviews you see Jada. You see the way she's speaking about Pac, and even though she's saying, we went there, we went to spaces, but it was just didn't work. She was talking about Will and how he was just there for her. They love and they worked hard on their relationship. In an interview before this, she talked about how they decided that they were going to work through it no matter what. And I think sometimes it can get really selfish because she said there was an image that she wanted to keep up. And Will clearly was in it for the relationship. You see, sometimes people will remove themselves. And again, this is my opinion. There's no facts. I don't know Will Smith. I don't know Jada Pinkett Smith, whatever she want to be called, because she was surprised she was a wife. I believe that sometimes people can really see how in love somebody can be with you and say, hey, if you love me, you allow this. If you love me, you allow this. If you love me, you allow this. And it just, Will Smith, for a man to be of that stature, to me, very talented, just funny, a part of a historical television show for a lot of us, and a lot of great movies. And he's done so many different roles. I feel like she hasn't made, she was the one. Nobody can make Will small to us, but in front of her, this little person, she has made him such a mustard seed. Small. He's small. He was sitting and he allowed at a table for a conversation to be had about how she moved on in a different relationship because she wasn't feeling the relationship she was in. So she allowed to move in August Alsina that went from a friendship to a relationship in their household. And Will talked about how that was not comfortable for him.
Here's my only other theory about it is that I think maybe Will Smith, being Will Smith, I remember him saying that he used to have so much sex that he started getting sick of having sex. I think it's a possibility that Will Smith was just so busy doing what he did that he possibly did not. He hurt her. I think that there's a possibility in this that this is all her getting back. Like if the way she's belittling him really does strike me as one of two things: either what you've described exactly, Rebecca, or just a person that is angry and traumatized and trying to get back at him for all the times he may have stepped out on her.
Not Jada Pinkett, who didn't remember that her last name was Smith until yesterday. Not her. No, because she even said we've gone through things, and we decided to try to work on them. You can tell that in their marriage, he really, and I can't say you can, and this is just from, again, I don't know them, but a lot of the footage, people are quick with it. They got a lot of red carpet footage, and it looks like he was so trying to be like, hey, Jada, I'm here with you. Hey, Jada, it's me again. Jada, you remember me? Jada. And he's trying to, he's fawning over her. He's actually showing the love. And Jada's like, hold on, sweetie. Is the camera one or camera two? Stand right there. It's like a lot of that happening, and sometimes she's not even looking, and he's just looking at her like, damn, that's mine. Giving her a kiss on her alopecia and loving
Rebecca Azor.
She wanted him to stick up for the alopecia and everything as he should have as a husband. And now she's saying what he did was too much. How can Will do that? And to call me his wife? Come now, Jada, you doing so much entanglement.
Yeah.
He was literally sitting there and he couldn't let go of entanglements for about a year. Songs were made about entanglements.
Quantum entanglements.
Quantum entanglements.
GIFs. He was even getting so tired of it. It wasn't funny to him. And she brought him to the damn table to have the conversation. She brought herself to the table.
I think she's punishing him. I think she's punishing him.
You think
not me. To me, she gives me narcissistic vibes. She gives me
I agree.
gaslighting type of thing. She goes from here to saying that this was this to now saying why?
Yeah.
Why?
Schrodinger's relationship. Are they in a relationship or not?
It just seems like they was in an open relationship. One of them got caught, probably her, and she's taking advantage of it. That's all that is. Because most time Will, and I was just about to say, Will hasn't said anything since all this has come out. Have y'all noticed that? Will hasn't said one damn thing.
Yep.
Not a one.
He posted about her was so amazing for her birthday. He talked about her being an amazing mother, partner, the love that he feels like he wants to be forever. This is what he was talking about. And you can't tell me that it was just only for show. Jada chooses when she wants it to be for show. When she doesn't, like, I feel like this. How can we believe the psychopaths? I'm sorry, I hate to say it. Jada is beautiful. Jada is talented. Jada has a vibe. She knows she can step into the room and everybody knows it's Jada Pinkett Smith. Her history with Tupac is one that everybody won't let go of. Everybody knows that. Okay, but here is David. That's how I was gonna get there.
Yes, I was right.
Will Smith was the bigger star. I'm not saying that it was in competition, but Will Smith's talent was there. I feel like he's been sucked dry. Remember when we started seeing him in the meme that was going around? As funny as it was, it really broke my heart. The man looked like he just was tired.
Been through hell.
Been through hell and back. He wasn't funny anymore. It's like he didn't find joy in laughter. And then when old boy made that song about Will Smith and sharing his love about Will Smith, I think that was one of the moments where Will felt like, damn, thank you for that. It was a beautiful monument to Will Smith, like where the words, everything. And I think that he really knew Will needed those words, especially in that time, because the world was making fun of Will.
And if y'all don't know what she's talking about, what's the name, Rebecca?
I'm trying to get the name and it's not coming to me.
I got you.
Yeah, but I say that to say a lot of celebrities are sitting down and they're putting out information, and I feel like sometimes they don't understand that they're hurting. Like, do you know that you're hurting this other person while you're doing this? You have 2 children, 2 kids, and a stepchild, who's your oldest kid, and everybody has to hear and witness this. So I know that it sucks because we want to be free. Sometimes we want to be so free, but at the expense of the people that trusted you in what you said in the moment when you wanted to live this life and choose it. And now that you want to live a different life, you don't care about anybody. Any casualties, like I don't give a damn. Even if it's my kids, my husband that I didn't know was my husband. Like, am I your wife? I didn't know that. I didn't know we was together for real. I was shocked because he hasn't called me his wife in so long. Every time Will Smith mentions Jada in an interview or whatever, how we hear it is his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think I think it's, and it's okay, guys. Our favorite people can have bad attributes too. And I believe in romance, Jada is somebody who is empowered by her beauty and how she's captivating and how she speaks and her sensuality. And I know that she uses that. And she can also utilize it to manipulate and to gaslight. And women can do that. I know it sucks. People think it's only a man's trait. No, women can do it too, y'all.
Right.
So she doing what Stevie said don't do. She doesn't use her love to make them strong. She uses her love to make them weak. That's a shame. That's your theory. Yeah.
And it's
that's
one of our greatest. You found his name, Bubba? One
yeah,
of our
it's
greatest.
Joyner Lucas.
Yeah,
Joyner
Joyner
Lucas.
Lucas. Check
Yeah.
it out. He did a really great tribute
Dope
to,
ass song.
to Will
Dope.
Smith.
Really dope.
But Joyner Lucas did that. But I said that to say, Jada's doing this, and I love Tia Mowry, and I don't want people to think that I'm coming for her because she'll get online and tell me to mind my business. But Tia, I love her too much. I think that she's a great actor. But I do think in her relationship as well, we don't know what went on with Corey Hardrick. We don't know what happened with that. For people who don't know, Tia Mowry was married to Corey Hardrick, who, if you remember, people who can remember him, he played as the coach in All American. He was the coach that was dating the dean. So, but I say this to say, even her, she's coming out and people are commenting and saying, hey, maybe you should just slow down a bit, or saying things like, hey, we hope that you're still able to work it out with your ex-husband. And she's like, why would I go back to that? Like, I'm moving forward. And that man hasn't said a word. Her ex-husband hasn't said a word. And people, it's almost like you leave room to save yourself, but to put out there that your husband was bad in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like we got to be careful in these spaces, because you are hurting somebody and you're leaving the narrative unclear. You're inviting us into a conversation. You're making yourself look good. And then just like this other person. And then she's saying, here's the funny part about it. When Tia first dropped the news about her getting a divorce, we were all like, what did Corey do? Corey cheated. And then underneath the post of her saying that she's moving on, he wrote, I love you. She wrote, I love you back. And that's when I said we should mind our business. At this point, we stop in putting us in these chats, celebrities, about your love life, and not including all of the information, giving us half information, trying to force us to choose. I don't want to do that.
Right.
Relationships are being attacked in this world right now. And we don't need the people who people praise to be the ones to give us more confusion and toxicity. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relationships are being attacked in the world. The spirit of attack on relationships is very big right now. A lot of people are not making it past certain years in their marriage. We see Jenny Mai and Jeezy, who are now getting a divorce, and they got married again during the pandemic. And now we're outside of pandemic times, and a lot of those marriages aren't working. Tiana Taylor has just come out and said that she and Iman Shumpert have
been separated.
Separation. Our Black marriages, our Black relationships. They're not valuing marriage anymore. The toxicity is being valued over that. Breakups are being valued over that. People aren't working on their relationships anymore, guys.
Yeah.
They're not. And when they're coming out with it, it's okay for people to just jump from the next person to the next person to the next person, or to talk about, hey, I'm moving on, I'm feeling good. And then like somebody else, especially you as a personality that is big, you as a personality that is huge, and you're making this commentary and this other person isn't saying a thing. So you're leaving the world to go and be underneath their comments and say, why did you cheat on this person? Why did you do this? It's terrible. And I don't know. I just did that whole rant, but I just want Black love to be protected. And I want more people to start fighting for relationships. If it's not good for you, it'd be okay to walk away from it. But also don't get online and leave a narrative open for the other person that you were so in love with at one point, that it may have just not have worked, for people to go attack that person as well.
Right.
Right. So,
amen.
I don't know, y'all.
And it just sucks that all of it happened at the same time with everybody, like weeks and weeks apart. I'm like, bruh, what is going on? Listen, just y'all go ahead and keep following Justin LeBoy and them toxic posts. Y'all go ahead and keep following. Oh my God, Becca.
Toxic posts. Y'all go ahead and keep doing that, because the world isn't really like that. People are trying to work on their marriage outside. People really want to be in relationships outside. Black love is something that can still exist outside. Y'all keep following them posts and think that's what Black love looks like. It doesn't need to tear you down. You're gonna go through things. Okay, you are gonna go through things, but it's between you and your person. If you want to go ahead and work on it, you can also get through things. You can go through things and you can get through things.
Yep. So you're right.
Yeah, I just got me a man. I'm talking like that. Listen,
girl, woo.
Yeah, they outside, honey, and I had to be outside too a little bit. But no, I say that to say
Oh,
I'm
okay,
in a new
that
place
makes
of
sense.
relational and in my relational life too. I want to be married. For years, you guys have heard me say that, and I've jumped from a man to a man to a man. And now I'm like, no, it shouldn't be that way. When things happen, I'm telling you, there is an attack on blackness, period.
Yeah.
And there's the attack on black love is serious, y'all.
Yeah.
It is serious.
Because dating pool is trash as hell. I'm like, I be sick of it. I'm like, everybody tell me I got to go outside, but I'm just like, y'all know I don't like going outside, man. I'm just, But clearly, that's the only way I'm gonna find me a man is by going outside. And I'm just like, goddamn.
There are 2 videos. Dave, I need you to grab them before you get out of here. I know you got to get out of here. Ben, you got kids. Bubba, I don't know what your business is, but you a working man.
Sleep.
Let me tell you, Dave, I need you to grab the video of the woman eating oysters on a date. She's eating oysters and with a man that she did not want to go out with, and she ate, I think it was 48.
48.
And then you have a woman that went on a date and said she would not go into the Cheesecake Factory. Now, I believe both of those are skits, but mind you, there are people who believe that they're real and have a full conversation about this.
Yes.
And some people are actually thinking that these women are correct. Please go get those clips from me. Bubba, can you help them search for them? Because I need you to know that, again, black love is being attacked in the space of skits as well on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Black women are out here disrespecting men.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Black men are out here disrespecting women.
While you do that, I want to comment. Somebody said, notice Ben is extra quiet. He a pastor. He can't be in the gossip. I don't even think what y'all doing is gossiping though, right? I think what y'all are talking about. I just have my perspective is just a little slightly different. It's the only reason I'm not talking. I think all these relationships are failing, not just because like love and marriage is under attack. It's just because most people don't want to do anything to improve themselves. They're so busy criticizing their partner.
Yeah.
They're so busy criticizing their partner. Yeah,
the work isn't being done anymore.
Good job, David.
David, you got it. Here,
he got it quick too.
Here
he did.
He's working hard. He's seen it going viral. Here is a video of and of course, where is it?
Atlanta, goddamn it.
It's Atlanta. So this video is of a woman who's, you know what? Roll the video because she narrates it herself.
Child.
Roll that beautiful.
Yeah, so today I linked with this nigga I met a few weeks ago out with my friends. This nigga been texting me for weeks talking to himself. Why I didn't block him, bitch, I don't know. But today I was bored and I had time, so he texted me like, can we meet for drinks? And I'm like, yeah, meet me here. They got the best fucking oysters in Atlanta, like hands down. So I'm like, yes, I can get some content, come on. It's so good.
The sound is too much. The sound effects.
Right.
Jesus.
Is
she serious?
No, very serious. The thing is, I feel like nobody.
Yeah, when the fourth one came out, he was looking at me crazy. I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, baby, you invited me out. I'm gonna eat, and I was coming anyway. No, I want to.
Her insides have worms.
But I did do all that.
Rebecca,
I was not expecting it.
You know she was sick.
And somebody actually died eating oysters recently too.
That many oysters, I know it's so good through every hole she got in her body.
I'm like, baby, what's next? What I'm about to eat?
Oh, y'all,
these potatoes, they were so good. And the crab cakes, everything was so good. 10, baby. Why the fuck this bitch ass nigga say he going to the bathroom and never come back? The fuck? I'm like, hold the fuck on. It's been like 10, 20, 30 minutes, bitch. What the fuck this nigga at? End up grabbing a tab, bitch. Nigga left me with his little one fucking drink. Yeah, bitch. I'm so glad bitch keep me some money, cause what? That was crazy to me. And I said, bitch, you went out on the tab. He talking about, I'm offering you to drink. The fuck are you talking about, bitch?
Wait.
That's what the hell she get.
And again, I apologize about language, you guys. I just wanted to play that video. Go ahead, Ben.
No. It's like at some point you got to make the conscious decision. It is not worth content to put out you getting owned and catching the L like that? Why would she put that video out at the end when she get embarrassed like that? I just don't understand. Keep that to yourself. But here she
because it's fake to me. Nobody was there. This is what I'm telling you, Ben. Black people are put in these spaces to create content that is literally it's negative, right? You're a girl, and everybody knows in Atlanta how there is a stigma surrounding women and men here. Women go out just to get fed, okay? And they will treat these men as such. And if a man ain't got money, or if he can't feed you, she literally said he's been texting her. He's been texting himself. And she said she don't know why she decided why she didn't block him. This to me is a problem. There are many men who are like, I really thought she answered this because she wanted to go out. I thought that she really wanted to go out for drinks. I thought she was giving me an opportunity. People don't waste people's time. So she made this skit. It's not funny to me. Also, you eating all them oysters, whatever. This gets her numbers. Seeing Black people, and especially Black women, act in a certain kind of way, it gets numbers. Now, here's another. Oh, I got a lot to say about this one. Here's another woman who's going to Cheesecake Factory, or was going to somewhere else, but ends up going to the Cheesecake Factory with a date. Which, to me, you can clearly see that this is a skit. But you guys tell me what you think. And she says she refuses to get out the car. There's two parts to this, David. I hope you found the second part. But let's roll this beautiful bean footage.
Woo. Let me just get the door for you.
Okay. He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Yes.
Would you want me to open the door for you?
Okay.
Are you? You're recording me?
Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
Oh my God.
Want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
So he gets into the car. I don't know if you found. Did you find the second clip, David?
It'll be in the comments, David. Check the comments, because I know they posted the second one in the comments.
Somebody in the comment section on Twitter said how she got lipstick from 2001 acting like that.
Baby, how you got the 1990 glasses on? And they're not vintage. They're just ones that never came in style and never will be back in style. The shape of them is what we looking at: octagon, square. What are we talking about here? Choose its shape on the glasses. Let's be real. That lipstick, you couldn't even get it to really blend on any part of your lip. The dress did not fit your bosom, sweetie. So what are we talking about? That looks like what? Okay, it looks like what? Baby, you look like you work at the Cheesecake Factory. Your braids is
off. She look like she work at Taco Bell, girl. You get what
sweetie, it's giving Popeyes. What are we talking about?
It was.
Baby, what are we talking about? Let's be for real.
That's why when you said you think this stage, I'm like, girl, I really think, especially being here in Atlanta, some of this shit, I really think that one was real.
Know if that was in Atlanta. Was that in Atlanta?
I think so. Because some of these, oh my God, some stories that I've heard about some of these women and some of the things that they have been doing lately, some of them I ain't gonna say deserve what they've been getting, but my God, y'all are like really crazy.
And then putting that out there, here's part 2.
Yeah.
This is all crazy. This is wild.
Stan, look at me. I cannot.
Oh my God,
girl.
There's nothing wrong.
I will die. That's embarrassing.
Listen, as I said, I have very specific certain expectations for that.
No.
I can tell it's not gonna be there. And maybe we're not right for each other. So respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah, I'm up.
So you just want to call it a night?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't there some kind of compromise or something? Ladies, can you believe this?
Girl, not her talking to the ladies.
I got 3 people in the audience.
If I don't feel respected, I am not gonna go through with the rest of the day.
Well, I mean, you
She gonna have to go to Cheesecake Factory by herself now.
I mean, you didn't want this place anyway, right?
Right. You ain't want it nowhere, girl. So I'm taking you
I
home.
understand that I was
doing on the
late.
side,
I
y'all. The lash
understand
is
that.
falling off.
I understand that I could
No.
have been a bit more cooperative. You
Ooh,
you made
nasty
some
back.
good points. That's why I'm.
Oh!
You see how she's narcissistic?
Are you sure you want to go home?
I don't have a lot of rules. I don't have a lot of expectations for a first date, but I've already set them, and you've broken every one.
Oh
So,
my God.
I'm
Period.
sorry.
Good on him.
We're dropping you off.
So I'm gonna tell you in the background too.
And she
All
still
right,
posted
whatever.
this.
Well, I mean, I guess I understand.
Because people
You
go
gotta
and do this
what you
for
gotta do.
content, you guys. Some people go
Yeah.
ruin people's lives for content.
For content.
Literally.
But it's her. But it's her. Like she looks like the fool now.
Yeah, but there are so many women who are like, girl, you don't need to lower your standards to go into Cheesecake Factory. Here, look at her, sis. Look at the lash. Look at the lash. Look at the lipstick. Look at the dress. Somebody found that dress immediately on Fashion Nova. I think it was going for $19.99, sis.
Oh,
and
Lord.
that dress says yes, you can go into Cheesecake.
Keep her on the
Yes, you
screen.
can go into the Cheesecake
Yeah.
Factory. The only problem that I have with the Cheesecake Factory is that when I walk in there with any type of heel on, I'm sliding on skates. I don't know what's going on with the
On the
at
floor.
Cheesecake Factory, but that's the only issue I got. Other than
Okay,
that,
I thought I was the only one.
Listen, I will go in. Yes, that y'all know. Look,
You
the
can
conversation-
your life.
Like a
y'all
motherfucker.
know the Cheesecake
Your
Factory
life is in
floor
danger.
It's like sliding on ice. It's crazy.
You out of batteries now.
Yeah, but I say this to say this is problematic. A lot of people will go ahead and do this, put other people's look again, just like I was saying about how these celebrities do that. You are not putting in you cannot put people at risk. You can't hurt people. You can't do this and immediately. What's up, Pascal? You can't do this and immediately want your content up or for people. There are so many women who really said that this was okay. Ben, there were so many people that said that this, like us saying that this woman, shouldn't have her feels about going into the Cheesecake Factory. But the background story, the man claims that she made him late because she was late. And she says that in the second video. She said, I'm sorry that I was late. So they caused him to miss their reservation to the first place. So he's like, all right, let's just go to the Cheesecake Factory. That was his alternative. Not to be rude, but saying, hey, let's just roll up and at least make the best of still today. And she didn't want to get out of the car. And again, this could have been a skit. And it could have also been people, because people do this for content, for views. They could have been her who deciding, I am going to waste somebody's goddamn time. Just to get content.
Just to get content.
Just to get content.
Listen, y'all gonna let this hunt for content like just completely ruin you, because this is on the internet forever now. And so in the next, I mean, she probably don't care, but the truth is what people do for content today is gonna make them look so crazy in the next couple of years. It's insane.
She's giving me very much too mature.
Yeah. It is. And it's like
too mature of age.
Girl, you too old for all of that.
Yeah.
But that's why I say dating is trash in Atlanta.
Look at me. Do I look like a woman?
Shit.
So do I look like a woman to be girl, sweetie? Your brain.
You see how quick her song. You see how quick her song changed when he's like, all right, let's just go home. She was like, well, wait now. Let's talk about this now. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, you already did it. It's over.
Yeah. And people try to comment about their looks. You are a beautiful woman. Now she's a beautiful woman. But if we want to go there though, if you want to go there, you could have just said, hey, I'm not going in and take me home. Fine. That's your prerogative. That's your story. But to try to go viral and then add the ladies in, baby, excuse me. Your name is not Beyonce. No, all my ladies, can you feel me? No, you're not that. Now, there's a group of women who do believe that they deserve, just because they have a vagina, to just be taken out, to be spent on, to be treated a certain kind of way. No, you also have to have respect. You came late. Then you pulled out your phone and started to record. And I still was going to open the door for you and walk you up into Cheesecake Factory. And you try to disrespect me. Ladies, you can't go demanding respect in a relationship or with somebody or whatever, and you don't give it. I'm sorry. I don't know what the world is teaching folks, but yes, JJ is very expensive. It's your pearl. Take care of it. Okay. but do not walk around here thinking that you're entitled.
Rebecca,
I'm sorry. There's so much of it out there.
Oh my goodness. I'm so glad I'm married and just not even have to worry about this kind of stuff ever. Like, you know, because listen, like when I was younger, I always dated older women. And so when you said she looks a little bit of seasoned, I recognize the oldness in her. And I'm like, okay,
you know, baby,
I could, you know what I mean? She would have been somebody I would have targeted back in the day when I was single looking at older women.
That she's holding, and I bet you from the 1990s. That's real sparkly or metallic.
You saying she giving out quarters to young people in church?
Yeah, she's right there, and having the nerve to put on a hoop that's so damn thin. Talking about look how I look, sweetie.
Oh,
we see it.
Talk about she's so deep in the bag like a grandma with a peppermint.
Like
Girl, go somewhere.
Oh my goodness, that was a bar, Rebecca.
Okay.
Come on now.
Somebody was talking about me Bubba in heels in the clip. I mean, in the chat. Y'all want to see Bubba in heels for real? I don't know if David got that clip, but David got a clip. I don't know which one it is.
What?
Let's see.
This would be a great way to end the show.
Wait a minute.
I had making these.
Wait a minute.
Not the. It's the good hips. It's a good hip at post-surgery hips.
What I can tell is when the higher the heel, the lower I can get on the ground. So I might be okay. Wait a minute now. I might be on something.
James.
I had to have help.
Not on the good hip. Oh, you gotta see, James. You was just dropping. You gotta, it gotta be in your lower back. It's
in the lower back.
You gotta pop it a little bit because you just was
if I had to straighten
you
up,
was just dipping like this. You were hovering.
Girl, hell yeah, I was. Them damn things was like that high.
Yeah.
James, I hope your insurance is up to date. James, is your health insurance up to date? James?
Yes, thank God.
Because you one slip away from a hip surgery, bro. Come on.
James, you keep on practicing, James. I think you're gonna have it. I think it's gonna be good for the hip. It's gonna be good for the hip.
Oh my goodness.
Working is good for the back. I'm strong back there. I got a good strong back. You know what I'm saying? I got a good strong back. Anywho, the Lord is good.
The last one, David. I know you got the sexy red clip for being.
Oh, gotta see the sexy red clip.
I don't even like that sound. I don't.
Make some noise, y'all. What the fuck?
Wait a minute. For herself.
No.
Make some noise for sexy red. Make some noise, y'all. What the fuck?
I was just about to say you got to run that again. Oh my goodness. Wait. One more time.
Make some motherfucking noise for sexy red. Make some noise, y'all. What the fuck?
He said, "Let me show you how to make the noise. This is what it should sound like." That is crazy.
Wait. Whoever Dean, Howard Dean, somebody put over top of that Howard Dean screaming. Ah! Okay, all right, that's it. Oh my goodness.
Listen, I'm so glad that we were able to kiki and have a laugh. We're at the end of the show, you guys. I'm so glad. I hope that if anything that you got from today's show, it's nobody should be dying. Free Palestine. Protect all people. And at the end of the day, you know,
clap for sexy red.
Don't be afraid to speak up. Clap for sexy red. Hey, no, actually, if you get anything from that sexy red clip, listen. If nobody's gonna scream for you, nobody gonna clap for you. Clap for
scream for your goddamn self. Amen, sister.
Okay, that's what it's about. Now we're at the end, and then
yes!
if you can't twerk and your knees ain't good, take a look at this video.
I'm dropping it, girl. I'm dropping that shit.
Okay.
Wait. No, I just have to. Rebecca, did you say if nobody's gonna shout for you, shout for yourself?
Yeah.
I have to tip my hat off you. That's got to be one of the illest tie-togethers I've ever heard.
Hey man, that's going on shirt. That's going on merchandise, y'all. Coming soon.
It's right, and look, And then listen, we're at the end of the show. I love you guys so much. If you're still here, that means you've been rocking with us and you absolutely love where you at. You love what you're watching. Let me tell you how you can support now. That is patreon.com/like it or not. Patreon.com/like it or not. You help us keep the show going. You help keep the lights on. You help keep the tape holding up everything that we got. All right. Because of you, we are. And you know it's for us and by us. And if you would like to give to us directly, you definitely can. You can give to us on Cash App at Becca's Voice, DJX3C, BPD 2018, and DKG 87. All right. So
y'all should go ahead and tip us for my dropping like that. I was twerking just for y'all now. So that ain't
Tip
nobody else seen
your
that video but y'all.
Tip your host, tip the voice of the Son of God, William P. Dixon. Tip the person with the name at the bottom, because this is my show. And also, I love you guys so much. And you know I mean that with everything in me. It is Saturday. It might be a little gloomy outside. Seasonal depression is upon us. Make sure you do something today to battle that, okay? I love you, and I mean that with everything in me. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in today on this beautiful Saturday. Hopefully today will get a little bit clearer, but it's supposed to be hot outside today, Rebecca, so that's a good thing. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all again for tuning in. Patreon.com/like it or not. Patreon.com/like it or not. Like Becca said, Becca's Voice, Cash App, BPD 2018, Cash App, DKG 1987 on Cash App, and DJ X3C on Cash App, man. Love y'all, mean it. Your affirmation for today, David's is DKG 87. DKG 87. Thank you, David. Your affirmation for today is, I use my talents and skills to overcome challenges. I use my talents and skills to overcome challenges. Y'all gonna be great, man. I love y'all. Mean it. Deuces. We'll see y'all next week, man. Love y'all. Politics. What you're hearing right now was the culmination of all of this. I started out with the mic in my hand, then I graduated to a plethora of fans. I love bringing joy to the people. It makes me feel great, makes me feel regal. I do what I do for you. 8 p.m. Friday, you know how we do. Let's go. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azure. Let's start this damn show. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azure. Let's start this damn show. Like it or not, y'all. 2023. Let's start this damn show. Let's go.